Okay, this was another question that I had to ask on the webcast today. Again, my name is Kevin Ward with Yes Masters Real Estate Success Training. The question was, I was talking about old expireds, and when you contact an old expired and they're not ready to sell the house now, what do you do with them? Well, you don't give up on them, you don't throw them away, because the reality is when somebody's put their house on the market at one point, the chances of them selling at some point in the future, in the next 24 months, 12 to 24 months, is pretty high. And so when they don't want to sell right now, they're not really a lead, so you don't want to keep them in your lead folder, because you want hot leads in your lead folder, people that are going to do something right away in the next 30 days or so. So what do you do with them? How do you add them to your personal vortex? So your vortex is the relationships that you're building, where you're building a word-of-mouth marketing team, a machine that literally will continually draw business to you. So if you're watching this video and you've not seen my video on YouTube on the Real Estate Vortex, just go search Kevin Ward with Real Estate Vortex on my YouTube channel and you'll find it, because it's extremely important. It is a breakthrough I think in the real estate industry, and the strategy and just the way of thinking about building your business. Well, the simple answer is when you talk to an old expired, people in your real estate vortex, and you understand a vortex is like a whirlpool. It's like a spinning fluid motion that has a pull to it. And basically the way the vortex works is you are here, you are the core, you're the energy core of the vortex, but the vortex is taking and building a system, building a team that's bigger than you that will draw business to you. So the relationships that you have, the people that you have, and what I call your personal circle, everybody that's in the vortex is this group. This is your personal circle. And as long as you stay connected with them and position yourself as a go-to realtor, you're going to have business constantly being drawn to you. An expired, for example, is somebody outside of your person that you don't know, is outside your personal circle. So you don't have any pull with them. Okay? They don't know you, they don't trust you, you don't have credibility with them or whatever. So the key is when you contact them, when you reach out to them and they're not ready to do something now, this is the perfect time to bring them into your personal circle by just saying, great, well, I'll tell you what, it's obviously now's not the time for you, so let's do this. Let's exchange information and stay in touch. And when things change or whenever you do get ready to sell, I'd love to talk to you about helping you make that move happen. Fair enough? And use the phrase, instead of saying, let me get your contact information, because that's self-serving, you say, let's exchange information and stay in touch. Now, this is really, really powerful. How do you connect with somebody is how you say it. So this is a key skill, is learning the words to use. Because there are three ways you can say it, and two are wrong, or two are less effective, and one is very powerful. One way is to say, let me get your contact information, or can I get your contact information? And the key word there is get. It's a self-serving word. It's a resistance trigger. Okay? The other way is, let me give you my business card, and when something happens, call me. Well, now you put the ball in their court. Now you've left it on them, and chances are they're not going to keep your business card, and if they do, they're not going to know where it is when the times come, and you're not going to be at the top of their mind. You're not going to have what you have in a vortex is you've got top of mind, what I call TOMA. Okay, as my coach James Malinchak calls it, TOMA, top of mind awareness. I don't know if he made it up or not, but you want to have top of mind awareness with everybody in your personal circle, or people that you build that top of mind awareness with, so that when they do need to buy or sell real estate, or they know somebody that needs to buy or sell real estate, you're the one that comes into their brain. You're their go-to agent. Okay, so if you say, let me give you, here's my business card, call me, you're giving them something, but you don't have them in your personal circle. They can't be in your vortex. You got no pull with them. You're going to have to go back out and chase them down or try to find them, and then you're just going to have to hope it's the right time. So when you say, I tell you what, let's exchange information and stay in touch. Okay, now here's what happens with this. Let's exchange information and stay in touch. I've got a business card I'm going to give them. Always have your business card or something that you can take their information on. Here's a great way to ask it. I tell you what, why don't we exchange information and stay in touch? Do you have a business card? Now here's the beauty of that, is that 50% of the people you ask or more have business cards. We're in the land of entrepreneurs or people, if they have business cards. The great thing about a business card is business cards were created to give away. So it's not they're more likely to give you a business card if they have one. So great, I tell you what, let's exchange information, stay in touch. Do you have a business card? And as you pull out your business card, do you have a business card? No, I tell you what, here's my business card, and here's another one of my cards. I'm just going to have you write your contact information on the back, and then we'll just kind of stay in touch. And when the time's right, I'll be delighted to help you. And I'm telling you, here's what the word exchange does, let's exchange information, is it brings in what's called the law of reciprocity. Now, I'm not going to get into the proof of that, but a guy named Robert Cialdini, Cialdini, wrote a book called Influence. And the law of reciprocity is extremely powerful, is I give you something and you give me something in return. And when you give something to somebody, there's this built-in sense of obligation. And when you exchange information, it's fair trade. So instead of saying, let me get something from you or let me give you something, you say, let's exchange something. It's fair. We're even. Okay, so it's very, very powerful. The key, though, is that once you put them into your database, it's called a database. Database is wrong. A database is data. This is about a personal circle. This is about relationship and connection. So if you've got a database of people, then you want to convert a database into a personal circle, which means there's a relationship there. Totally different way of thinking about it because it's a different activity. Now I've got to stay in touch with these people, and the strategy that I teach is that everybody in your personal circle, you want to talk to them at least 4 times a year. Real simple, make a conversation 4 times a year with them by phone. Just contact them. There's some other things that I'm not going to get into here because that's the personal circle system, and this video is beyond the scope of this video. But you bring them into it, and then you just stay in touch with them. And what's happening, the beauty of it is now you're not trying to convince them to sell when they're not ready. But over time, as you position yourself and the Vortex, your personal circle system is working, you're establishing the likability and credibility. In other words, now they know you. Now you want to make them like you and trust you so that when they do get ready to sell, they're not going and saying, we're going to interview a bunch of agents. You're the one that stayed in touch with them. You're the one that's built the connection. So 6 months from now or a year from now or 2 years from now, when they're ready to sell, they're calling you and they're saying, hey, Todd, it's Kevin. We are finally ready to sell our house. And you're going to go in there and get that listing without having to compete. You're not going to have to go through all the pain in that because you've established over time through your Vortex both likability and credibility because now they know you, they like you, and they trust you. So what the Vortex does is it bridges the trust gap. It bridges that they don't trust you, that credibility. It helps you to connect the dots by bringing them in with a low pressure. You're not trying to pressure them to do something they're not ready to do. So instead of trying to convince, you're trying to connect. You're not going after the listing. If they're not ready to sell, you're going after the client. So when they are ready to sell or know somebody, you're the one that they call. And I'm telling you, right here, this is where the whole concept that I teach is real. This is what will allow agents to build a business where they can do 100, 200, 300 deals a year without having to spend all their money on marketing and without having to just be nonstop hammering it, because you're building relationships and you're positioning yourself with key people and you're staying in touch with them the right way, and it's all systemized, so it's a process, so it's manageable and things don't fall through the cracks. Absolutely huge. Hope that helps. We'll talk soon.